All right, folks. So, when Tracy and I were out on our honeymoon and we were tripping about, every town, city we hit, we went looking for the music stores. I think I've told this story already, but when we were in Ottawa, before we had our car accident, got T-boned by a person in a parking garage. That was wonderful. Dealing with all that crap. But before that happened, we were on a quest. Originally, I was out looking to pick up my last two Aussie albums, which I don't have yet. I don't have Patient 9 yet. I don't have Scream yet. Working on getting those. Instead, what we ended up doing before the accident, because the accident cut our Ottawa CD shopping short, is Rainbow. We almost totally completed out our Rainbow collection. Back in review 100 and something, it was closer to 200. I want to say it was like 186 or 168 or something with one of those two numbers in there. Back when I recorded that or did that review, all we had at the time was all I had recorded or had available to me at that time, was Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow, the original album. I also knew we had a couple albums at home. Found out that we have basically Tracy on her own, not knowing it, bought basically almost the entire back end of the Rainbow catalog and had the first one, and we were missing everything from the second album through. Well, while we were out, we were in one store, and I walked up to Tracy with a giant stack in my hand. She goes, "You're getting that many CDs?" You know, that small moment of, oh shit, here we go. Panic. And then I said, no, Rainbow. And she goes, "We don't have those?" And I go, no, we don't have those. She goes, "You sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm positive." I go, "The only one I'm not sure on is this one, Rainbow Rising." I thought we might have had Rainbow Rising. But it was the remaster, so I was okay with it. I just pawned off the old one on my kid. Because Rainbow, man, this is a band I have taken way too long to buy albums from. This is a band I have taken way too long to get into reviews from. And this is a band that I am about to cover everything from. So, I covered the original Rainbow album. I don't have Rainbow on Stage yet. And there is one other album I believe I am missing as well. One of the last albums. I think I have the last two. I think it's the third from the end I'm missing. Anyways, so, wait, hold on. I forgot. They put all the albums in here. Okay. So, Straight Between the Eyes, yes. Rainbow on Stage and Rainbow Straight Between the Eyes are the only two albums I do not have at this time. So now that I've gone into this big, long-winded intro, I'm not going to have to cover this for all the rest of the Rainbow albums. We're going to do this in sequence. So next up in the Rainbow, we have Rainbow Rising. All right, Rainbow Rising. Oh, man. Okay. I did not realize how much of this album I already knew before buying this album, especially for not owning any other Rainbow. Myself personally, I didn't own any Rainbow before Tracy and I got together. For some weird reason, I don't know why, I never bought any Rainbow. I made up for it. But I have had Rainbow around, like I've listened to Rainbow Greatest Hits. I've heard a lot of covers from Rainbow. Metallica covered quite a bit of Rainbow. There's Rainbow. There's a Dio tribute album, which I've covered, which has a bunch of Rainbow on there as well. So, all right, let's get into this. The album opens up with Tarot Woman. First off, you got like a minute or so fade in on the keyboards at the beginning. I love that. I've used that trick myself, not the same way that it was used here. And I never heard it on here prior to buying this album. So, they're cool. And then all of a sudden, you just hear that. You just get, oh man, love that riff, man. Ritchie Blackmore. Okay, so everybody always talks about Jimmy Page. Everybody always talks about Tony Iommi. Ritchie Blackmore, I swear to God, has been unfortunately kind of pushed to the back over the years and shouldn't have been. Because Ritchie Blackmore has released more insane, brilliant riffs than Jimmy Page has by far, okay? Like, I'm sorry, but Ritchie Blackmore and Tony Iommi, those two are the blueprints for heavy metal, man. Every great riff that could ever be recorded in heavy metal, those two came up with first, and everybody else is just trying to find all the other riffs that were left over afterwards, okay? Oh. Whew. Okay, then we get into Run with the Wolf. Okay, I had never heard this song before, and I like Run with the Wolf. My only complaint about Run with the Wolf, and it's not even a fair complaint against this song, is how much it reminds me, in a lot of ways, of Bad Company's Running with the Pack. But I believe Running with the Pack was actually after this. So Rainbow gets the pass, and I gotta get mad technically at Bad Company for Running with the Pack. Running with the Wolf, though, really good tune, really dug it. I can't believe I had never heard it before. It's one of those ones you gotta check out. Then you're into Starstruck. I love Starstruck. Oh my God, man. This is such a great song about, basically, I guess you could say it's about groupies. And what it's like having to deal with groupies and those hangers-on that just don't know when to walk away kind of thing, man. But once again, man, it just got great riffs. Oh, my. Okay, so this song, I remember being on the radio when I was a kid. And because it's under 3 minutes, I can understand why I remember being on the radio as a kid. Do You Close Your Eyes? Great song, man. Especially because the whole line is actually, do you close your eyes when you're making love? And, it's one of those songs that just, Dio's not one to really do songs about women, like Dio himself. Generally, if he sings about a woman, it's kind of more story-esque. It's not kind of like very in a sexual manner like most others. And when I think of Rainbow, I don't think of a lot of sexual stuff as well. Deep Purple, yeah, a little bit more. But, I should, but like something so blunt from Rainbow. And that's the thing, Rainbow is one of the most underrated bands ever of all time. Like, I feel horrible. Like, Deep Purple gets its notice, but Rainbow really, there's part of me that really thinks that Rainbow should get more notice than Deep Purple does. And it's specifically because of songs like this. Like, every song on this album has been great. Then you're into Stargazer, which is just this giant-ass killer tune. And then A Light in the Black finishes off the album. Now, when you look at these song lengths, basically tracks 1 through 4 would be side 1 of the vinyl, and track 5 and 6 would be side 2 of the vinyl. That's just how that has to work, because Stargazer is 8 minutes and 26 seconds. A Light in the Black is 8 minutes and 12 seconds. So you get 16, almost 17 minutes right there. And then when you total up the times on the other one, now there is a possibility that Do You Close Your Eyes may have let off side 2. It's short enough, it could have done it. 6, 10, 14. Probably not, though, because that would put it at about 17 minutes for side 1 and then about 17 minutes for side 2. I could go look online. I'm not going to bother. Side 2. Okay, so side 1 is the side that you're supposed to dig in on. Side 2, while I've downplayed a little bit with Stargazer and A Light in the Black, both those songs are amazing songs, man. The only song... yeah, they are. There's no bad song on this album. I mean, my biggest complaint about this album is the album's too short. It does annoy me that the album's only about 34-ish minutes, because, if I'm driving across the city, I finish the album in the time it takes me to drive across the city. Yeah. When we're out on the highway, the CD player in my car is a bit of a pain in the ass, especially when it's really warm. It doesn't like to. One of the wheels tends to not like to spit the CDs out all the way, so I have to wait to do that. And when I'm on a 2-hour stretch between service stations, that's annoying. You got to pick your album wisely that way. Because otherwise you listen to this one like 4 times in a row. And then it's like, okay, I got to take it the hell out now. Because I have a magic trick I have to use. And Tracy, unfortunately, my magic trick annoys the hell out of her. And she's yet to perfect my magic trick. So she doesn't do it. Rainbow Rising, you have to own this album. Okay? Out of the 6 tracks on here, A Light in the Black is the only one I am going to say holds this album back in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. And that's not really a thing. This is a brilliant album. If you are a musician, you need to own this album. If you are learning guitar, you need to own this album. If you're learning piano, you need to learn this album because this will teach you organ, how organ works in a rock band. Drums are absolutely exceptional. Oh, and this album was produced by the Martin Birch. Enough said, right? Okay. The remaster version to me is a must, unless you're going to go with the vinyl, because the original release of this on compact disc would have sucked. And the reason why I say it would have sucked is due to the fact that it would have been a direct transfer, would have been an AAD. At least this is ADD. Sound quality on this is rich and warm, which is what you want, you know. Anyways, folks, I've rambled enough at this point. Rainbow Rising, you need to own it. Am I going to say it's a perfect 10? It should be. It really should be. Might be a 9. It's definitely a solid 9, man. Like, this is a hardcore solid 9. Probably should be a 10. Yeah. All right, folks. My thoughts, my views, my opinions. Let me know what you think down below in the comments section. Am I being too generous on this album? No. Am I being too hard on this album? Maybe. Like I said, it probably should be a 10. I'm willing to give it a solid 9. Might be a 10. Let me know. That's what the comment section for. On your way down there, there should be a couple links if you can check those out. I appreciate that. Please and thank you. Like button, subscribe button, bell for notifications. I'd really like to hit 200 subscribers by the end of this year. That'd be great. Please and thank you. Otherwise, folks, peace, love, take care, and I'll see you back for some more Rainbow.